it's politically inconvenient to talk about the reality of climate change and its consequences. But it's also interestingly, and I found this to be especially true in the last 12 to 18 months, there is also a contingent of voices of folks who are just arguing, not climate scientists notably, but other people who have very large audiences on
Yeah.
social media and elsewhere, that the end is nigh, that climate scientists are lying. They're in the pocket of big oil, which is one of the
Yeah.
funniest things I've ever heard. But essentially, the point being that there are also people, in addition to a large number of politically influential people who are claiming that climate change either isn't real, it's natural, or that it's not a big deal, which,
Yeah.
by the way, are mutually exclusive possibilities. So it's not even internally logically consistent. There is also a growing contingent of folks who are saying that it's so bad that there's no point. We're all going to
Yeah.
literally, that it's the end of civilization or the end of humanity, the end of the earth. There's no indication that any of those things are true. And the problem with saying that there
Mm.
is that it once again gives a deeply misleading sense of where we are.
Mm.
Now, I'm not trying to reassure people at all.
That we're fine, we're not, but yeah.
Usually my job is to scare the pants off of people, but to do so constructively, in a way that actually maybe improves the path that we're on. So I think it's critically important to be honest about where we are and also honest about the uncertainties regarding where we're headed, which are considerable. One could even call them large.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think the challenge is that we're kind of stuck right now where it's very unpopular to have nuanced conversations about anything
True.
in the public sphere. I'm very comfortable with breaking things down into sound bites and
Mhm.
tweetable increments and but I also think that there is a point at which you cannot fully characterize the situation that we're currently in a sentence. And the headlines are never enough because it
Yeah.
just is genuinely complicated in a way that it is important. Now, does it need to be a 100-page dissertation describing it? No, I think, you can describe in a paragraph or two, which I'll try and do next, sort of where we are and the uncertainties within that. But I do think it's important to realize that a lot of the voices that we're hearing online right now are on very extreme ends of the spectrum. And as you alluded to, I don't think they're equal and opposite by any means. But I do think it's harmful both to have this complete dismissal of climate change on the one hand, and then these geophysically unmoored opinions from people who do not have domain expertise in climate, who are very influential and are making claims that are simply quantitatively wrong.